Today, we're going to talk about what it means to live as an unstoppable person, not hustle, because I know life gets hard and we be out here hustling. We're talking about embodying the identity of what we have been building, maintaining what we've worked for, understanding why your story matters, and knowing what's next, because our work doesn't stop here. The work continues. And that's a good thing, right? Let's finish this series strong. Now, before we go any further, I need to say something to you. You are not who you were when we started. Now, you may not feel like you're dramatically different every day. The change might feel subtle. Remember, we talked about those small shifts, but something has shifted. I know it has because you showed up. Episode after episode, you kept showing up, and that matters. So before we move forward, we must pause to celebrate because celebration is not optional. Celebration is a part of becoming unstoppable. So I want you to celebrate the mindset shifts that you have made. I want you to celebrate the fear that you faced. And I want you to celebrate the habits that you may have started in this process of becoming unstoppable. Maybe you've created some momentum you need to celebrate. This is about our progress. And if you have been with me through this, I know you have made progress. So I want you to mark this moment in some way, whether that's writing it down, taking a picture, saying it out loud, going to tell somebody, shouting it out on social media, or coming into the Fulcrum Mindset community. You have earned this celebration, and I want you to shout it out so that people can celebrate with you. Now, transformation doesn't always look loud, and it doesn't always look like a dramatic before and after. Sometimes it does, but not always. Sometimes transformation looks like you're thinking differently or reacting differently than you used to. It may look like pausing instead of spiraling out of control or catching that lie before it takes root. We've talked about that, right? And sometimes it looks like starting before you're ready. We talked about that last week when we talked about the momentum and the motivation. Or moving when your motivation is nowhere to be found. You're just moving along because that's what discipline does. Sometimes it looks like staying quiet when it feels easier. And sometimes it looks like showing up on those hard days and doing the work that nobody sees. That's real change. That's growth, and that's becoming unstoppable. Let me tell you what changes when someone becomes unstoppable. A stuck mindset says, what if this doesn't work? But that unstoppable mindset, it asks, what if it does work? A stuck mindset waits until you feel ready. But an unstoppable mindset, it gets ready by starting. An unstoppable mindset says, I can't do this yet, but I'm learning how. Unstoppable people, they wait for permission and they move and figure it out as they go. That's the shift from waiting to moving, from stuck to unstoppable. Now, that doesn't mean life won't challenge you because it will, but challenges no longer define you. They refine you. Listen, now you have to protect what you built here. Mindset shifts will drift if you don't reinforce them. And those habits will start to fade if you don't guard those habits. The momentum slows down. And listen, the enemy would love nothing more than for you to go back to who you were before you started this series. To slip back into those old patterns, to forget what you learned. Please don't let that happen. Unstoppable living is intentional living. It means noticing when you're starting to drift away. You got to do some course correcting early and stay connected to that thing that grounds you. Now, this is not a one-time transformation. You can't just do this one time. You have to do this every day. This is a daily choice. And I want you to know something. Your story matters, not because you have it all figured out, because I know you don't, because I don't either, but you kept going. And somebody else is sitting where you were before when you were stuck at the beginning of this. Maybe you were stuck. Maybe you were afraid. Maybe if you were even wondering if change is possible, but you hung in there. And your story could be the thing that helps them. It could be the thing that helps them believe that unstoppable is possible. Whatever you are struggling with matters, and what you changed matters as well. And what you still are working on matters. Your story doesn't have to be polished to be powerful. It just has to be real. Now, scripture reminds us in Philippians 3:13 and 14, forgetting what is behind me and straining towards what is ahead, I press on toward the goal. Press on. Press on. That is unstoppable living. Not dwelling in the past on your failures, not being defined by what didn't work, but pressing forward. Eyes on the prize, eyes on the goal, moving toward who God created you to be. And remember what Winston Churchill said. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And you continue. You're still here. That's that courage I'm talking about. Now, let's do one final exercise together. I'm calling it the unstoppable reflection. First, I want you to think back to where you were before this series. What were you struggling with? What was keeping you stuck? Take a moment and try and remember. Now, I want you to think about what has shifted in you, sort of like my fulcrum back there. Maybe it's what you believe about yourself. Maybe it's a habit you started or a fear that you faced during this time. What changed? Finally, I want you to answer one question. Who can I become if I keep living this way? Sit with that, because the answer to that will shape what happens next. Whatever came up for you, I want you to honor that, write it down if you can, and make this your marker. This will be your evidence of growth, your reminder of how far you've come. Now listen, transformation is sustained in community. Isolation will weaken your momentum so that connection can strengthen it. You don't have to do this alone. You were never meant to do this alone. So if you're ready to stay connected, share your story, and keep building momentum, I want to invite you to join us in the Fulcrum Mindset community. The details will be in the show notes. Now, this is where we continue this work together. We will support each other. We will celebrate our wins together, and we'll even navigate some of our setbacks. This is where unstoppable people gather. This series is for those of you who are stuck because life has pressed you, because maybe you've had a crushing experience, some painful season, or some moments that felt like they would break you. And I want to suggest that those crushing moments weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to extract something precious that's been inside of you all along. In From Press to Purpose, we're going to explore how your hardest seasons prepared you for your most impactful seasons. We're going to talk about how to stop letting your pain control your thoughts and how to turn your testimony into triumph. If that resonates with you, join us next week. We're going to do this together. We are here for you. Before I let you go, I want to speak this over you. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are becoming. Your work matters. Your story matters. And baby, you are just getting started. Thank you for taking this journey with me. And thank you for trusting me with your time, your attention, and your growth. It has been an honor. I believe in you. I'm cheering for you. And I can't wait to see what God does in and through you.